You guys have been asking, so here you go. The next installment of the Spyder trailer build. You can see we have cabinets going in. We also have blank word spaces in between. But there's a plan for that, of course. That's where the stove goes. And you can also see he has the cabinet built for the refrigerator and the microwave. Again, he had to custom make that so that it fit perfectly in there. You have a wheel well that you have to deal with. So you can see there's some space underneath that. It is because it sits on top of the wheel well. And you can see how he has the microwave mounted as well as a refrigerator. And then you see he got the little stove in and we got a countertop on. It's taking shape. There again, you can see all the cute little compartments, and we've used every one of those. Each one has a special space now for shoes, and we also keep the little Traeger grill underneath the stove. Fits there exactly perfect. I wish I could say that we planned that, but we didn't. And here's the cabinets on the other side. Yes, Mr. Patches has to help us in everything that we do. But here you can see that cabinet layout again really well. You need to make sure when you do one of these that you understand what kind of space you're looking for and what you want to do in this small kind of kitchen. Maybe you don't need all those cabinets. For us, we wanted the cabinets because we knew we were going to be cooking in here regularly. And that's something that we like to do. You can also see that we have the TV mounted and the fireplace mounted. He has also cut a hole in the butcher block top for the sink. Now somebody just needs to stain that. I think that would be me. We need to stain that to match the other countertop. This is actually birch, so we're going to stain it to match the other side. But you can see the configuration of cabinets there. And over the course of time, we found that that was a really good layout for us. We used part of that for bedding. Of course, we have a trash can underneath the sink now. And we have a junk drawer. Everybody needs a junk drawer, right? The space itself works and functions very well. You can see a sneak peek in the bathroom there. It is ready for 10. He is back over here getting this fireplace all hooked up, and the TV is already done. He's going to take that warning label off of there. He just doesn't think that it's necessary. It's kind of a joke in our family. So you can see he is literally going to cut the warning label off so that he can plug it in and make it nice and neat. He likes it that way. But as you guys take a look in the rest of this, you can see how meticulous he is with his details, even including the label. You can see how tight all those cabinets fit against the wall. Check out the ceiling. There's no gap there. That cabinet is scribed to the ceiling. Of course, it's a curved top. You can also see all of the Schluter is been installed in here. The Critti membrane it's all ready to go. The pan is ready to be tiled. And the walls are ready to have 10 installed on them. We also have the little vanity base sitting in here just to give us a good idea of spacing. And that will be the toilet area as well. But as you come back through, you can see all of those details starting to take shape, including this beautiful little fireplace. Pretty cool. It's fun to watch it change. Changes every single day when you work in here, but the craftsmanship, it is top notch. You guys can see that. You can see that cabinet is scribed to the ceiling there, and it fits perfect. And then you have the wiring. But we put the Spyder in just to make sure. Look at that. Look at that fit. It fits in there perfect. Plenty of room on each side. You can back it in, almost clear back to the refrigerator if you needed, so that we could haul something else in the back if we needed to at some point in time. But it fits perfect. All of his design, it has paid off. You can see some electrical needs to be done there, but you can also see there's plenty of room there. We also are going to have to install the Murphy bed, and it'll go against this wall on the right. But that's 10 inches, so there's plenty of room in here for the Spyder. Yay! And our little fireplace. Just a good measure to check things like that. so that your process doesn't have to be halted because of a wrong measurement. So you can see, yes, the Murphy bed is actually going to sit on top of that wheel well. So that might be our next project, or we might go to the bathroom. Which one should we do? I'm going to let him to decide. He works better that way. He also took some measurements, so he'll be able to put the tie downs on the floor, and that will be the next thing. Nope, he's going to do the bathroom. You can see the tile. He has it all cut, laid. You can also see him back buttering a piece right there. He prefers to always back butter because he feels like it gets a really good adhesion. Just a preference of his. And he is installing the curb right there on the shower pan. And he lays that on there, gets it all nice and perfect. He'll let that dry really, really well because the top of that actually gets some Schluter pieces, and then it'll be tiled on top of that as well. But you can see how he just kind of back butters that little bitty piece. Then he'll stick it into place, tap it a couple of times, make sure that it has good adhesion. Most of the time he actually tapes those on to make sure that they stay in place. Yep, see him tapping it a little bit. Just making sure it all lays perfect and flat and you don't have bumps. So you don't want to stub a toe on a tile that's sticking out. That's not a very pleasant experience. So as you can see, that shower pan turned out really pretty. He still needs to grout it, but the drain's also black and it just goes really well. I'll be anxious to see that with the 10 and how it turns out. Yeah, it's pretty. The herringbone design gives a lot of character to kind of a plain looking floor, and I like that. And as you can see, everything is perfectly cut. Everything lines up perfectly. There's actually 13 pieces in that bottom. And you can see that weird looking piece of trim. That's a piece of Schluter trim, and that will also go along the top of this shower pan and around that curb. And as you can see, that needs to be done, but he wants everything to dry really well before he starts that process. Everything is perfectly in line though. And you have the Curdy membrane on the walls. It's ready for 10. All the 10 will surround this entire bathroom. Gives it a little bit of a shine. It also brightens it up because it's a fairly small space. We wanted something that was going to give a lot of light and be pretty durable. And it has done that very well. Also spent some time in the wood shop. As you can see, we have doors, we have a mantle, we also have a vanity, and I stained the countertop. That looks much better, I do believe. Goes well with the cabinets, goes with the floor. Just trying to make it a really cohesive, like cozy kind of feel in here. He also got the tie downs mounted, or installed I should say, and he secured those to the frame of the trailer so that when you tie down the Spyder, you're actually tying it down to the frame of the trailer. It's not just to the floor pieces. Something that he is adamant that is something that needs to be done when you're hauling precious cargo inside something that you've spent a lot of time on. So the Spyder will actually back up to that particular tie down. And the one compartment sink, yes, that's my preference, as you all know. But it turned out good. We cut the hole in there and we got that installed. We're still waiting on the Schluter pieces and the very top pieces of trim in the bathroom. But for today, we've had a good work day. Yep, fireplace is in, TV is in. This little trailer is really starting to take shape. Oh, it's so cute as well. Details, details, details. As you guys pan this, I want you to make sure and see all of the precise cuts. There's no holes anywhere. There's no gaps anywhere. that is his work. And he's tired. He's ready to stop for the day. So one last look. It's starting to take shape. Yes, we still have a blank place in the ceiling. What are we going to do with that? I know this guy, and he promises me that he has that all figured out. So we're back to the bathroom, and it is time to grout this shower pan. Oh, there's a sneak peek. Yeah, we have a top for the vanity, and we also have 10. Cool, right? Brightens this whole space up really, really well. But as you can see, he is grouting today, and I want to give you a little bit of a few tips on how to grout. Start off with, this is black grout, so make sure if you are using black grout that you are really careful with where you mix it, because it will stain things. You also want to make sure that you're using the ones with the very, very black, how you pigment it. Different grouts have different levels of black, so make sure you pick out the one that you prefer, that would look the best with the design that you're trying to get. Because black is a tricky color to try to match. But you can also see that he has taped off around the bottom of the tin. He also has the grout, and he is pushing it back and forth. Can you see him push that? The idea with grout is to make sure that you get it in all of those different lines of the tile. And you all saw that herringbone pattern. So the idea is to cross it, not go with it. So with all of these different lines, it's kind of complicated to try to grout herringbones because you have to go so many different ways. And the one thing you want to make sure that you do is when you're grouting, you get a lot of grout in that particular grout line, because nobody wants to feel sharp tiles on your feet, especially in a shower pan. So getting it very smooth is something that you want to work really hard to do. And he is really good about making sure that you get those grout lines filled in really well, because he hates sharp spaces on his feet when he is in the shower. So I knew this one was going to be perfect. And years later, I can also tell you that this shower pan has not been touched. It has been grouted this day that you're watching it, and 3 years later, yes, it's still the same. So he did a really good job on it the first time. You can also see that he has his drain taped off because he doesn't want to get grout on top of that drain. Granted, it is black, but you don't want to scratch it. A lot of times grout is sanded grout, and what he is using is sanded grout here, and that can scratch those kinds of fixtures. So just be careful when you're grouting with that kind of stuff. You can also see him getting it up really close to the edges. He will go back in once he gets this all grouted, and he will use silicone to go ahead and seal all of the cracks. It also makes a really nice finished product, and it's easier to clean that way as well. But you can see him getting it all close right up in all of those corners. And he is meticulous at this. But like I said, once you do it really well the first time, then you don't have problems with the grout. And that's what he's doing. And there's the finished product. It actually needs one more clean, but I think it turned out beautiful. You can also see that Schluter trim was installed along the top of the curb. Makes that a very seamless, beautiful look, and it's finished. All those edges are finished completely because of the trim. So cleaning is really easy. You don't have any sharp spaces that would cut somebody. It looks nice and finished and clean, and it's stayed this way for years. And the 10 makes so much difference with the light in there. And the beautiful vanity top. That's some live edge that we purchased from Baldwin Hardwoods in Fort Collins. Love those people. Need to set a toilet. Need to do a final clean, but this room is truly taking shape really, really fast. There's it dry. You can see how it blends right in with the tin. A little bit of accent to it. Can't wait to get all the fixtures into this. I think it's going to be so cool. And there you can see TV, fireplace, countertops. Yes, we have a Murphy bed. So this Murphy bed is made out of some hickory, again, Baldwin hardwoods. And that particular hickory is 7/8 thick. So that is one very, very heavy bed. It's a full extra long bed. And we ordered a mattress off of Amazon, and we basically made this Murphy bed to specifications of that mattress. You can also see that we have it up there. We are not completely done with our attaching mechanism, I guess I should say. He is still brainstorming on that, but we got it installed today, and we were pretty happy with that. That took a lot of thinking on his part, I might say. There's a quick little shot of the bathroom shower pan that's finished. Oh yes, now we have a sink. Everything is starting to really change. That's LP siding that was used. And some chairs from the backyard. But I have worked on this Murphy bed for 3 days now. And getting it all sanded down. We had to plane all of that wood. And that was a process in itself. But we managed to get that all accomplished. Needs to have some finish put on it. That has not been accomplished yet. We're still working on the mechanisms to hold it in place, as well as how we are going to allow it to fold down. And he will be able to give you a really good explanation of all that as soon as he gets all of that installed. So stay tuned. He will give you all of that information really shortly. But as you can see, we have progress. We have a deadline. We are fixing to go on a trip, so we're working really hard to get all this accomplished.
Today's progress. We made the bed last weekend, and we just got the chance to put it all together, as in trying to fasten it to the wall, figuring out how to keep it in place, and get our mattress in it. So we're pretty happy with the progress of this. Honey, would you like to add your 2 pennies worth?
So one of the things we had to do was figure out how to make it pivot and slide back into the wall. That's when you come around to the end. We first got the brackets. They did not quite come out far enough to allow for the depth of the bed and the mattress. So I had to make this bracket support for the bracket so it all fit. Once we got that done, then we had to figure out how to secure it to the wall so it stayed there while we're going down the road. So this is like a gate latch that is adjustable, so you can tighten it. So you can see it locks itself in place with the cam action. So this way it holds tight. And on top, the other end, we didn't want to have to hit it when we're walking by, so we put a nicer looking latch here that's under pressure when it's all put in, so it doesn't come loose either. It's tight. So once we undo this, then we'll show how it lays down. Right now I don't have the gas shocks to help with the weight of the bed, so it's heavy, but we'll get gas shocks that mount on each side of it, and then that'll help pick it up and down, so that it's easy for anybody to pick it up and down. So one latch this side, it unlocks, just hangs down. For the outside edge, we made a couple of supports to set the bed on. It comes out. So for now, we just kind of set them in the general area where they're going to go to set the bed on. And we just simply push, and that one pops right out. So right now, like I say, this bed is heavy. This is hickory wood. It's all 7/8 thick, so it's very nice and heavy and sturdy. You can see how it rolls. Roll it back against there. Put it on the supports. We'll learn where they go as we go, but it just sits on there. They look nice. So, we have a nice extra long double bed. So you could put a queen and still have room to walk through here, but this way we can get up and we can go to the bathroom. No big deal. Piece of cake. So I won't normally have my drill sitting there. So, yeah.
We like it. Eventually we'll put some windows in this wall, we think. So we'll have a little bit of daylight when the bed's down.
But for now, works good. And the hard part is picking it up for storage. It rolls out. Pick it up. So first latch, pretty simple. You just push on the bed and it's tight. So next one, it just lays over, hooks in. When you pull this cam, you'll see it pull itself back, and it's locked. So go down the road, good to go.
All right, there's your bed demonstration. Then we just stack these underneath the bed. Ta-da! Stay tuned, lighting's next.
And here we go with the lighting. He has decided it is time to wire this trailer. And remember in the beginning when we had the rat's nest, he still maintains that he has all of this figured out. And as we will soon see, he truly does. But he left that opening in the middle because that is his basically cable tray. All of the lighting in here will be low voltage lighting, and you can see he is putting in all the lights. There's actually 12 of those lights in here, and when they are all installed and all on, they draw a total of 1.4 amps, which is not very much, and you can literally run that off of the battery along with the refrigerator. We have actually used it up to 12 hours now, and we had enough battery to do that. So, big day. We have lights, which is one of the end things that had to happen so that we could go on our trip. We have a trip planned in this beautiful little thing. So now we have a deadline. And that's always good for us. We do better under pressure. But the lighting layout, it was simple. You just go along and you figure out where are you actually needing light. Gonna have to have it in the shower. You need it over your vanity. As you can see, it lights it up really, really nice. And those are small lights. I believe that they're 3.5 inches. So they are super small. But they put out a lot of light, and they have worked very well for years. You can see how that all turned that bathroom into a really cozy, cute little space. Again, you have the lighting here above the sink, lighting above the stove area, and there's some lighting above the back bed as well. And he also has those 3-wayed. It's 3-wayed from the front door area, and there you can see it going backwards. Worked well. Oh, we have fixtures in the bathroom. Yes, be nice to the person with the camera. We put in simple fixtures here. That's a little copper sink. We also did some hanging hooks. We've used that for towels. Towels there again. This particular vanity is about 30 inches long, and those pieces again were the leftover pieces of that wood. We went ahead and finished them just like we did the vanity, and we have Craig screwed those into the wall. And one of those works really well for shampoos. This one has shaving cream and that kind of stuff on it, is how we've ended up using it. That one has been a lifesaver. All of the shampoos and soaps and everything end up on that one. But this little bathroom is highly functional. It hits all of the buttons. And this is actually where we get the electrical. There's no outlets per se in this bathroom. Like in the wall, we actually put it in the top of the vanity. That literally plugs in underneath the vanity, but there is 3 outlets on there that you can use. There's also a a USB on the top of that. All of those are very handy. So when you're not using that, it just goes right back down. It lays flat. You get your entire vanity top back. It also keeps things nice and clean and neat. You can see the little toilet paper holder that we also installed on the very bottom there. I didn't think about it putting it there. I figured it would go on the wall, but he insisted that that was a better place, and over the course of time he was correct. And you can see the little shelves there. That's a really nice place to hide all of your toiletry items, makeup stuff. I hang brushes there. We hang the curling iron and the blow dryer along the side. So like I said, this bathroom is highly functional. It's an actual size that you can have more than one person in it. And there you have the shower, rain head shower head installed. You can see the water lines have gone in. We have the water tank. The infamous closet is starting to take shape. And we have all of the plumbing laid out. But guess what? We got it all done. And now we are packing for our first maiden voyage. And he is fixing to load our little baby Spyder in there, and we are out of here. It's been a long process, but we'll keep you guys updated as we go through the rest of this. We still got to install windows. We've got some doors to install. But we sure enjoyed our trip. It was nice to get away. Beautiful scenery. Colorado has some of the best spots. And that's all because of that.